Sharon's favorite book that I ever wrote was Path of the Fury. A lot of people liked the book, and they kept after me, to get it in hardcover. Well, I'm sorry, books that are released in mass market paper book aren't usually really released in hardcover. When Jim Bain did the library bindings on the first 3 or 4 Honor Harringtons, that was a highly unusual step. I think from a marketing perspective, it was a very smart step, but it was very unusual to do that. So there wasn't much way that Path of the Fury was going to be released in hardcover. So I wrote the prequel to Path of the Fury, and then we bound both of them together in a hardcover as In Fury Born. So it's actually 2 totally separate novels that are fused in the middle. Okay. It's about twice as long as it was, and it is the entire storyline of Alicia DeVries from the time she's like 13 all the way through to the end of In Fury Born, of Path of the Fury, excuse me. So you see her as a high school student. You see her as a just graduated recruit from Paris Island, which is still training Marines. Then you actually see her Marine service before she goes into the cadre. And then you see her cadre service until she retires. All of that is in the first half of the book. Well, there's other stuff that I always wanted to do in what I guess we can call the Furyverse. I don't know. One of the things that I've always wanted to do is to do the story of Terrence Murphy and the founding of the empire that Alicia serves, and how it came to be in the first Human-Rish War, the second Human-Rish War, et cetera. So that is what I am doing now in collaboration with Richard Fox. And I am currently working on the climactic battle. Richard had this really cool thing that he did that wouldn't work because the technology wasn't there to make it work. But it was really cool. So I thought about it some, and I thought about it some more, and I actually found a way to make it work. It's the warfighting technology at Terrence Murphy's day, which is like 300-400 years before Alicia's, is significantly different from the warfighting technology of Alicia's days. Like the guys who are in the combat armor at this point, they have really short endurance on their power supplies, and the armor is like 9 feet tall, kind of big stumpy kind of thing. Not like it basically is fitted to your frame of Alicia's time. The biggest difference, the biggest pain in the butt, I mean, it's cool, but the biggest pain in the butt when I'm planning a battle for me is that by the time you get to Alicia's day, you could put facet drives, the faster than light drive, you could put them in destroyers, okay? Well, in Terrence Murphy's time, about the shortest facet drive ship you can build is about 4.5 kilometers long. And the facet drives are hideously expensive, kind of thing. So these are very strategically valuable units because they're the only way to get from one star system to another star system. They carry Sublight Parasites. But the Sublight Parasites use reaction drives. So they're dependent on how much acceleration their crews can take, because there's no magic like in the Honorverse where you've got the impeller wedge and the inertial compensator that dumps stuff into. Nope, not in the Murphyverse. You have to play fair with physics. Physics is a bitch. And so you don't really want to be slamming your guys around at like 30 gravities. It's not good for them. And they can only carry a limited amount of fuel. Okay. They only have thrust for however long. And like the outside the Powell limit, which is a zone around the star for like the star I'm working on right now is I think it's an F7. Okay. And its Powell limit is like 46 light minutes. Okay, well, inside that Powell limit, you only have about 50% of your maximum acceleration from the facet drive, which means you can accelerate at only 900 gravities. Okay, now outside you can accelerate at 1800 gravities. So a parasite that can manage maybe 10 with its guys on the edge of blacking out can't catch one of these things. It has to sort of ambush them, if that's what's going to happen. So the classic tactics at this point is the carriers come along, they drop the parasites off with enough velocity to take them into the target, but not so much that they can't break and still have maneuver time, on the clocks, et cetera. And then after they get the all clear, they come in and pick the guys up again after the battle or whatever. It's considered very bad form to let your they call them FTLC, faster than light carriers. It's very bad form to let your FTLC get shot at. Okay, there's all kinds of reports to fill out when you get back to base after that. Murphy never set out to become a ruler. Okay. For those who haven't read the Fury books, I'm sure there are at least 4 people out there who haven't. Okay, but for those who haven't, by Murphy's time, there's the Terran Empire ruled by the House of Murphy, who's been on the throne now for like 300-400 years, and there are a couple of other species. The Quarn and the humans get along really well, even though they can't. They live on totally different types of planets. Their real estate isn't real attractive to each other. The Quarn are telepaths, and they look like starfishes, kind of thing. It's just like, but we like them, and they like us. We have the same sense of humor. We like puns, kind of thing. And then there's the Rish, and the Rish are sort of warm-blooded reptiles. They're matriarchal. The female Rish are the warriors and the rulers and whatnot, and they run to about 9.5, 10 feet in height, and very, very, very strong. Okay, I mean, really. And then the Rish males are maybe like 5'2", they're little flighty, kind of guys. And the Rish are the primary competitors of the humans. There are a lot of reasons for that, but the main one is that the Rish took a look at the humans and they said, these guys breed like rabbits, and they like low population densities. The Rish like high population densities. Okay. And that means that they're going to expand a lot faster than we are. And they go off in all directions socially, the whole 9 yards. They're not predictable, and they got all this crap going on, and it means that they're doing like, gee, I wonder what would happen if we tried, kind of thing. And their technology is going off in all directions, and they're just really going to be a pain in the ass, so we need to do something about them. And the Rish are the way that their minds work. Okay, they really are into the deep game, the long, carefully crafted strategy, etc.